He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gadget Professor. My name is Don Baine, and of course, I am the Gadget Professor. Thank you so much for tuning in, and it's Thursday, January 23rd. I don't know where the month of December went, never mind the month of January, but thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm still recovering and almost fully recovered from my experience at CES. I've learned not to go to the buffets again, and I'm starting to eat more healthy. Not that the buffets weren't healthy, but you know what I'm saying. And let's see, what else can I tell you? It's been a busy week. I have a ton of stuff scheduled. Some really cool episodes will be coming up. We'll be having the people from Dropcam. We'll be having the people who make the, what shall I call it? The see-through doorbell from Brino. And also, it's not a doorbell, but you can actually see straight through it. That's a cool product. And we've got some footage that I do have. I finally recovered my SD card on that Brino camera, and I have some time-lapse photography, time-lapse video actually, of the booth at CES, and it's really cool. So I'm actually in discussions with them now. We're trying to figure out a good time where they can be Skyped in, so that should be a lot of fun, and I think we're going to have some phenomenal discounts for you, perhaps on all their products. So again, thank you for tuning in. If you're new to the Gadget Professor, we actually have a brand new show every Thursday evening, and I post it about between 8 and 10 o'clock, maybe 11 o'clock Arizona time, so you folks back east will be sleeping, I'm sure, and you'll see the show Friday morning. And if you want to stay up and watch it, that's great too. Now we're going to have something new starting next week, I think, is that we are actually going to be broadcasting live when I actually do the Gadget Professor. I'm actually in the studio here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it's 11:15 in the morning, and by the time the day is over, we'll have this edited and posted and all that kind of stuff. But what we're going to try to do starting next week is we're actually going to stream the show live, and I'm actually going to put the cameras on. We'll have a drop cam, and as I said, those folks will be here shortly on the Gadget Professor, and I'll have a drop cam in the studio, and what you'll be able to do is actually watch me get ready and Mike get ready, and today actually we're recording before a live audience. We have some guests here today watching the show, and what we'll do is we'll actually open that live stream channel up about a half hour, 15 minutes before I actually go live, and then we'll broadcast the show live. You'll of course be able to watch it like you usually do, but if you're interested in knowing when that camera is going to go live, because I don't know myself, every week we record at a different time, the Gadget Professor. If you're interested in watching it live, at least the half hour before in the show itself live, just email me, and you can email me anytime, 24 hours a day, at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. That would be thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. Just send me an email, and in the headline, just put live stream, and then I'll make sure that you get an email notifying you an hour, 2 hours before or whatever that we're going to go live if you'd like to watch that. The other thing that I might do, and I'm not sure yet, we're just trying this as an experiment, is we may archive it so that I'll have a separate website where you can click in and certainly watch the show, but you might watch the pre-show, which is kind of interesting. We set everything up and do all the lights, and I go through my jibber jabbers trying to figure out what I'm doing, and it's kind of fun. So if you want to watch the show, you can watch us, of course, anytime on our website, and that's thegadgetprofessor.com. On our website, we're actually on episode 141. If you scroll down halfway, you'll see that you'll have the ability to subscribe to our newsletter. It says newsletter, just click that. You can put your email address in. I don't sell the email addresses. I don't keep them. All what will happen is every Thursday night, as soon as the show is posted, you will get the show notes, which is a composite of everything that we talked about. All the URLs of everything that we talked about will be hot linked, and that way you know what we talked about, and if you need to go back to reference it, boom, it will be there. You can also check me out and like me or dislike me. Hopefully you'll like me on Facebook. I'm in the process of updating that, and I'm going to put a bunch of videos up on my Facebook page of interviews that I did at CES. I'm just getting the files now. So then over the next week, I'll populate that with a lot of cool interviews at CES, and we had a lot of fun. And certainly you can follow me on Twitter. It would be @Gadget Professor. And what we do with that is we tweet probably 100 times a day, and we talk about every new gadget that we can find that's interesting, that's out there. And if you go to my Rebel Mouse page, you will see that it is a visualization instantly of anything that's on Twitter. So Twitter is just words, of course. I guess you can put pictures, but if you go on my Rebel Mouse page /Gadget Professor, it will be in the show notes. You'll see every gadget that's out within the hour, and there's some really cool stuff. And if you go back to this page 10 times a day, it changes constantly. Every 15 minutes it changes. So check that out. So let's start off with some amazing news that I find amazing for a couple reasons. One, because of what this device does, and two, because of who bought the company. And my good friend Alan Goldstein actually fed me this tidbit this morning, so I looked at it and I said, gee, this is kind of cool. But what it is it's a new lens that made diabetics. Long story short, this gentleman is holding a contact lens, and you could see it there on the tip of his thumb. It's a contact lens, and it's like right on the top of his finger there for illustration purposes. And if you look closer, sandwiched in this lens are two twinkling glitter specks loaded with tens of thousands of miniaturized transistors. It's rigged with a hair-thin antenna. Together, these remarkable miniature electronics can monitor the glucose levels in the tears of diabetics and then wirelessly transmit them to a handheld device. So you're going to, in your phone or whatever, a separate device, I'm not sure yet, you'll actually see what's going on with your diabetes. It is a phenomenal invention to me. It's amazing, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. And I can read the whole article, but I think you'll get a pleasure out of reading it. I'll put it in the show notes. But who owns the company? A company called Google. Interesting, isn't it? You think that they're only involved in internet stuff, but they're involved in a lot of things. And as I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Fascinating medical technology that has integrated the latest in electronics, and Google owns it. I can only imagine what's coming up in the next year or two. It's absolutely an amazing piece of technology, and it's a very interesting read. Some more news that has just come out, and I'm not shocked by this. I thought it was long overdue, but finally there was an article just written today, actually it was yesterday morning, that came out. Is Kindle TV on the way? Amazon in talks with media firms over a set-top box. So this may be some serious competition for the Roku boxes and the Boxy boxes and the WD boxes, and there's probably about 30 different boxes that are out there. And actually, in the next couple of weeks, I have a review of a new one that just came out, kind of a Google TV box. But Kindle TV, the TV box expected to launch this year, will feature live TV and video on demand services. The firm believed to be in talks with 3 major broadcasters about the service. Amazon is developing a pay TV streaming service with live shows, so it claims. This is going to be called Kindle TV and has been discussed with at least 3 major companies, according to reports. So again, you can read this article, but it's believed that this service could use a low-cost box similar in technology to the Roku box or Apple TV box, according to the Wall Street Journal. This could be huge. This could be a game changer. Certainly my favorite box is the Roku box. I like that for a variety of reasons. We won't get into that just now, but the point in fact is that if Kindle, with their dollars and technology, get into the set-top box business, I think that's going to be a significant game changer, because there's hundreds of thousands of people right now that have the Kindle itself, and now if there's a mechanism that they can download through software, or even a new mechanism, a new tablet that you would buy that will allow you to enhance the viewing experience, wow, that should be really cool. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep you posted. Now this next app, a free app, kind of a free app, is called Silent Phone. It's your answer to voice and video calls on your mobile devices. Make voice over internet protocol, VoP, voice over internet protocol, wide world with HD clarity over the 3G, 4G, or Wi-Fi networks. Video on demand, mobile video for chats over cell phone networks, Wi-Fi, connect to the world, conference calls, blah, 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 blah. what is Silent Phone? It is essentially an app that will encrypt so that no one can listen to your conversation, and that's essentially what it does. It makes your conversations and your video chats secure, even from the NSA, supposedly. So as I was reading about this, I thought it was a cool app, and the app is free. And you can get it on the Google Play Store, or you can get it on the iTunes Store, and it's called Silent Phone. After quite a bit of reading, it became obvious to me that they are correct. The app is free, but you got to read a little bit to find that you could subscribe now. And when you hit the subscribe now button, it's $10 a month for a pass, for a basic package. There's volume discounts if you have 50 or more people. So, you got to be careful as usual, but if you want to keep your stuff encrypted, $10 a month will encrypt it for you. And if you don't want to keep your stuff encrypted, you can download the app. It may give you some minimal service, but the app is free. So there you go. This next company is called Portable App Directory. This is a very cool company. Everything they make is free, and they ask you to make a donation, which if you want to make a donation, go ahead. If you don't want to make a donation, you can use their software totally free of charge. And they make some interesting things here. There's probably 5 or 6, I would say, really cool apps here that you can look at. They have notepads, they have text editors, things like that. But there was one app here. Let me see if I can see it. They have a data file viewer. They have tons of games that are all free, tons of graphics and picture software, internet free software, and I would check this out. There's probably over 100 free apps that you can get. Some of them are great, some of them are not so great, but check it out and pick up what you think you'd like, and it's free. And let me know if you find one that's cool. Now, the one that I liked was called Crystal Diskmark Portable. And what this utility will do is it's a disk benchmark utility that measures your performance for sequential and random reads and writes of various storage drives, in other words, for your hard drive. And it's useful for comparing both the speed of your drives, but what it also will do is it will inform you if your drive is on its way out. It will tell you if it has bad sectors or something's going rotten with the actual hard drive. So it's totally free. Check it out, and if you're not certain that your hard drive's on its way out or not, this is a great little free app, utility app to put on there. PC, by the way. This is another app called Essential PM, Personal Information Manager, and this is totally free, available on the App Store for your Droid or the iTunes Store for your iOS. You can use this to make appointments, tasks, notes, contacts, password entries, email messages across multiple devices and cloud applications. It's totally free. It also will go on your Windows machine, and check this out. They have a little video here. Again, you can run that at your own pace, but it works and it syncs. This is the important part with Android, iOS, Outlook, Google, Dropbox, iCloud, and many, many, many more. So they do have a free version and they have a pro version, and it's right up front. There's no guesswork about it. They do have a comparison page, and it shows you what you get in the free version and what you get in the pro version. You get a lot more in the pro version than you do in the free version, but check it out. It's not that expensive if you want the pro version and you find you want the pro features. I think it's about $40, but it is a very nice, tidy app, and I like the fact that it syncs across multiple platforms. Now, let's see here if I skipped one. No, I didn't. Okay. Our next app, free app, is called My Scrap Nook. Not book, My Scrap Nook. And this is totally free. And you get free collages, free printable templates, invitations, and Facebook covers. So if you want to really jazz up your Facebook page, really with cool stuff, cool graphics, you can go on here and you simply share online or print it out or whatever you want to do. And they've got some really cool, interesting templates that are totally free. You can change the text, of course, but they have photo cards. They have their collage page was kind of neat. And you want to jazz up your Facebook page? Maybe I should do that. Definitely check this out. They've got a ton of stuff on here, and it is all free. And now, it's your favorite time. It's time for the gadget of the day, and we'll take a peek at this on camera 2 right now. This is called the Brother PT-1230PC connectable label maker. It's fast, it's easy, and it's secure. This is the box that it comes in. It's a tall box. It has pictures on the side. It has pictures on how to use it on this side. And on the back side here, it shows you all the stuff it can do. And this is actually what it looks like right here. So this is brand new, opened up out of the box this morning. And the Gadget Professor tested it out. And let's see what comes in the box, so to say. Well, the first thing that came in the box was paper. I'm talking paper, man. I mean, you got directions, you got instructions, you got warranty cards, you got order more label tape cards, you got paper, and you got directions. You got directions in Spanish, Italian. I went for the English one myself. I opened it up. Now, I like a little booklet. I hate the ones where you can't read the print. This one was good, you could read the print. But I knew I was in for trouble when I opened up the directions, which I rarely do. But since this had so many features, I figured why not? Well, check this puppy out. This is like a newspaper. There's more print in this than was in the Arizona Republic this morning. This is the instruction sheet. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. So, begrudgingly, I read it. So I followed the steps, and let me just point out, if I may, a couple of the features. I don't know, let's go to camera 2, Mike, and we'll see if we can point out the features. So the features are you have an on and off button. You can turn it on like that and see the little green light on. It's on now. This is where the actual tape comes out, and this is the cutter. Okay, on the back side, they have some very interesting things. You'll notice right here is a socket for an AC adapter. And I like that, folks, because these label makers love batteries. They love batteries. So that's that. Over here you have a little lock. So you can put one of those little chain locks in there and lock it so no one rips off this little puppy. Here you have a USB connector. It's a mini USB, and that actually is plugging into the other end of my USB on my computer. And down here, my favorite, they have a switch which puts it into 2 different modes, the E mode and the EL mode. When you buy this, it is already set to the EL mode, which is essentially the light mode, if they will call it, the Elite Light, I think it's called. And if you put it in the E mode, it's just the Elite mode. Well, the E Light mode automatically loads when you plug this into your computer. The USB automatically tells your computer that, hey, I'm a label maker, and you can immediately start doing labels. For free, if you follow this instruction newspaper, for free, you can go to the Brothers website and download the E software, the Elite software, not the Light, the Elite. But here's where the craziness comes in. It's a complicated process. I'm figuring you just go to the website, you download the E version, and what that does is it allows you to have thousands of fonts, preconceived templates that you couldn't even imagine. They got some really nice artwork, some really cool, well thought out label templates to put on wires, all kinds of things, vertically, horizontally, and it makes the whole job of making labels really sweet. However, I had a couple issues with the device. First, before we get into loading the software, and I'm going to move this out of the way for a second here, and I'm going to move the box out of the way. Now, this is light, It stands on the desk like that, doesn't take up a lot of space. And here's where the craziness started. So I read the directions and it opens up, there's a little button here. You just push this and there's your tape, okay? Now, here's the fun. You'll notice there's batteries here. And the reason there's batteries in here is because I tried to use a 9-volt power pack, which is what this takes. And the 9-volt power pack, which I have here, every good gadget person is going to have a device that will supply power. This is a typical Radio Shack one. And there's a little button here. We'll take a look at this at camera 2. I've covered these before, but there's a button here where I can select how many volts I need. And then I have the output jack right here, and you actually get a bunch of these output jacks. These run about $15, $20, depends where you buy them. So that any type of input, any type of device that requires 9 volts or 6 volts or 2 volts or 3 volts, you just set it to the voltage, and also you select what tip, because there's no standard. So I essentially took this out, plugged it in, because I hate batteries, and I plugged it in, and I went to turn the device on, it didn't turn on. And what you need to make sure of is that on every single unit, no matter where they're made, if you look at the power supply tip, we'll go to camera 2, right here on the side, which you can't see right there, it shows you a little diagram and it will say positive or negative, and that indicates the tip. So you don't want to reverse the polarity and put positive tip when it calls for negative tip. And this definitely calls for a negative tip. I made sure that my device was set to negative. There was no question that my power supply was the right polarity. So I tried it 3 times. I changed the outlets. I finally got my voltmeter, and this was putting out 9 volts exactly. This would not power up. So that was very aggravating. It doesn't come with its own power supply. You've got to buy the Brothers auxiliary power pack if you want to run this on a power supply. I hate that. I hate that. They should tell you that right on the box. They'll tell you that it's not supplied, although I didn't see that on the box. But what's the big deal about buying a Brother power supply? One, it costs more than any other power supply. The truth of the matter is, this power supply does not have enough amperage to power this. This is only 1,300 milliamps. I probably need about 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So when I get back to the Gadget Professor's jungle office, I'll look through my closet, and somewhere I know I have a beefier power pack that has more amperage, and I'm sure that I'll get this to work on a power supply, which is important. So I was ticked off right off the bat. I did have, amazingly, 6 brand new batteries that I put in, and as soon as I put the batteries in and I pushed the power button, boom, it came right on. No big deal. Now, here's the problem. I read through all these instruction sheets, and I mean, I'm telling you, you got paper like you wouldn't believe. It's all over my computer here. So I go on the website, and for free, I'm going to download the Elite software, because why not? It's free, and it will give me all kinds of options to make all kinds of cool labels, which we'll get to in a minute. So as I'm downloading it, it said, you need to put the serial number in. And it says right on the website, it gives you an example, A1B23C456. That's simple enough. So I turn the device over, and I look on the back, and I see ACN, and it says right here, the serial numbers may differ. Obviously, they're not going to give you a correct serial number. So I put the serial number in. No way it would work. I put it in with dashes. I put it in with spaces. I couldn't get it to work. So I kept looking around, and I finally got the software to download. What I realized after the fact is there's 2 pieces you got to download. One's a driver, and one's the actual software. Pain in the neck. Why? Why do they do that? I don't understand. So at that point, when I loaded the software, the machine still wouldn't work. It loaded, but I couldn't find the software anywhere on my computer. So out of frustration, I called Brothers and got their technical support. They did answer. It took 25 minutes, and they answered. At least they answered, and it was a human. I told them my problem, and I'm on Windows 7, 64-bit. And what he said is, you have the wrong serial number for starters, because if it wouldn't take it, it means you have the wrong serial number. So I said, well, I'm reading, and he said, no, you're looking in the wrong place. Well, the way they put it on the website, and it started off with A and this number on the back side started with A, to me that made sense. So what I essentially had to do, and nowhere did I find this out, I had to open this up. I better turn this off first. I had to open this up. I had to pull the cartridge out, the printing cartridge. And on the bottom, there's the serial number. Like I'm supposed to know that? They got 25 sheets of paper in here, but nowhere do they clearly say your serial number is located here. So again, no big deal. We're now 25 minutes plus trying to hook this thing up. So I put the serial number in, bam, it said it's accepted, and I download the driver. Another 15 minutes. So after a half hour on tech support, yours truly, the Gadget Professor, who knows all about this stuff, finally got the stupid thing to load. And now I have 5.0 Elite and EL, the Lite version. The difference between the Lite version and the Elite version, I will show you. And it's actually quite interesting. One other tidbit of information that you must know. Remember I showed you that switch? We'll go back on camera 2. The switch is here. It says EL, which is for Elite Lite, and E for Elite. If you don't have that switch put into the E mode, you will not get this to work on the Elite software. Another pain in the neck. If you have it on the E mode, it will only work with the Elite 5. If you have it on the EL, it will only work with the Elite mode. So right now I have it on the E mode. I'm going to put it on the EL, which is the light load. Light load, okay. And now I'm going to open my computer up here. And let's see if I can pull this up. There is my interface. So right there is essentially, I would type label. Okay, I'll type the word hello. And what you can do is basically capture that. You can drop down and you can change the font to whatever your heart desires. There's all kinds of crazy fonts that they have here. Let's do Broadway because that's always looks kind of cool. And there you go. And all I would do is at this point just hit print, and you will see, camera 2. There's the label, and I just click this, it cuts it and makes a very nice label. I could change the font size, the spacing, anything I want to do. So that's the EL, the Elite Lite, that comes already configured. Plug it into the USB, boom, it pops up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that switch from the EL mode to the Elite mode. And the software is loaded, and now I will double click, and here's what the Elite mode looks like. And it's pretty cool, I will admit that. You have a bunch of pre-configured templates, and you actually have a database that you can connect to so that any label or any new stuff that comes out will automatically download on your computer. What's nice about this is if I go to cable wiring, which is really why I use a label maker to begin with. I have a lot of wires under my desk, and I've just had to unfortunately rewire that. And I label everything. So here you have the ability to do a cable wrap wire, and here you can see that the wire wraps around the cable. When I do any kind of wiring, no matter where I am, we're running cables for a video shoot, wherever we go, I always have a label maker with me and put the label on both ends of the cable, because when you have long runs, you don't know what goes where, and at least if I see that this is from the Drobo drive disc 1 and it's on each end of the cable, then at least I can identify that quickly. So there's a lot of uses for that, but this makes it a cable that will actually wrap around the wire, and it puts it vertically and leaves you a little tag, so it saves on the length that you're actually using because it's a pre-configured template. So if you want a patch panel, you can see the patch panel, text comes up and there's a picture of the patch panel. There's all kinds of templates. If I want, here's general stuff, which is nothing major, but Let's go into some of the other types of labels that you have. If caution out of service, if you want to sign, I just double clicked it when I shouldn't have, so it's going to take a couple seconds to figure out why I did that. The software works. It's a little kludgy. What I like about it is that it has a lot of preconceived templates, and as you can see here, it has caution, exit, all kinds of things that you would probably want to use pre-done for you, and that's very nice. They have holidays, office signage, personal files, kitchen, identification, greetings, cable panels, asset management, doctor's office, retail, shipping, spices, you name it, they have it. So if you were to go into the shipping section, and let's try this. So, this side up, do not bend, do not drop. So let's just go to do not bend. You would double click that. I'm not going to change anything on the label. Once again, we're going to go over to print. We'll click camera 2. I'm going to hit print. And I could print preview if I want, but I don't need to do that. So here it comes. So it definitely does add a nice touch, and we'll cut that, and I'll hold that up for you. And it says do not bend, and it has a nice little graphic on it, and very nice, very cool. So the bottom line is, does it work? It absolutely works. How much does it cost? Well, that's easy to find out. We'll just go to Amazon, and that will give you a rough price. It's $37.94 on Prime, which means you'll get it for free shipping in 2 days or less. And here's the deal, folks. If you want something that's easy to use and easy to set up, you don't want this, okay? Just get a battery-operated one and just pump your labels out and be done. If you do a lot of labels, and I do a lot of labels, and you want the feature of having pre-formatted tablets that will also be saved, because anything that I create new, I click and it saves it in the database. If you really want a lot of choices and a lot of different flavors and a lot of graphics on your labels, this is a good buy. But you must understand that it's not 1, 2, 3 setup. It tries to be, but it's not. 2 things they should do. One, they should include a power pack with this, or at least tell you in big letters right up front, the power pack's not included and it costs X amount of dollars. If you don't want to spend X amount of dollars for a more expensive Brothers outlet, power pack, you can buy a 1 amp power source universal that will definitely work with this, I'm sure of that. Second thing they should do, and this is the biggest frustration and pain to me, is when you're downloading the software, man, tell me where the serial number is right off the bat. Don't make it like I got to make a phone call. Maybe it is in the instructions, but I got to tell you, there's only so much of this I can read, man. I mean, come on, it's a label maker. So I don't like where they put the serial number, and more than that, you bought the damn thing. If you load the stuff down, it's not going to work with any other machine anyway. It's got to be a Brothers unit. So why put you through all this stuff? If you want to register it and put your serial number in, okay. What they should do, what I would suggest they do, is they make one file, you download it, and when you extract the file, it puts the driver in the machine, it puts the software in the machine, and you're up and running in minutes. Don't make it so complicated. Other than that, I like it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I enjoyed bringing it to you. I will see everybody next Thursday with the brand new Gadget Professor. And remember, if you want to watch the show pre-live, if you will, send me an email to thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com, thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. Put live stream in the headline, and I'll put you on a special email list, and you will know that we're going to stream the show live. Thank you so much. We'll see everybody next week.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Baine, Multimedia Communications, LLC. If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.